Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play the roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
We're talking about UFC 317, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Let's talk about it.
So, the fight is upon us, my friends. We are about to see Ilia Topuria go up against Charles Oliveira. And listen, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I want Charles to win. I want Charles to win. I personally like the man. I think he's a cool ass dude. He seems like a nice guy. Seems like a everyman. He seems like one of us, so to speak. In the trenches, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Topuria, he comes from a rich family. No disrespect to him, but it is what it is. Now, the reason I want Charles Oliveira to win, I've seen much better work on the come-up from Charles Oliveira than I did from Topuria. Charles Oliveira really fought for it, really fought to get to where he's at. And while I'm not saying Ilia did that, he clearly did as well. I just like Charles' story better. Now, with that being said, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Ilia's going to win. I think Charles Oliveira has all of the tools to win. He's got the most submission wins in the UFC right now. He's beaten a number of great contenders. He's very technical, phenomenal on the ground, great work. Even his striking is decent. Again, he has all of the tools to beat Oliveira. Oliveira is just that guy right now. He's just that guy. Sometimes you can't stop that it factor. And don't get me wrong, the it factor can leave you. It's not like everyone has the it factor. There was a moment in time where Charles Oliveira was that guy. Unfortunately, I don't think Oliveira is that guy anymore. And Ilia Topuria currently is that guy. Ilia Topuria's got momentum behind him. Ilia Topuria's got a lot of power by everyone. There's not been one person that says Ilia Topuria doesn't hit well. And I think that the unfortunate circumstances is I think Ilia Topuria is going to try and strike with Oliveira, and I think Oliveira is going to try and strike back. If Charles Oliveira manages to get Topuria down, which is possible, and he controls him on the ground, it's possible. I think Charles Oliveira can win. However, Topuria is a strong guy, man. Just because you get him to the ground doesn't mean he won't get back up. So, I do see a number of takedowns happening, but I do also see Ilia Topuria getting right back up. And unfortunately for Charles Oliveira, I think Ilia just has too much power behind it. And listen, I want you guys to know, I want Charles to win. I'm not trying by any means to put Charles down. I want the man to win. Again, all the tools, submissions, takedown, great grappling on the ground, good transitions, all that. He has all of that good work in, but Ilia Topuria is just that guy right now. So unfortunately, I got to pick Ilia Topuria to win. And unfortunately, I kind of see it coming by knockout. As much as I don't want to say that. You know, there's been plenty of times that Charles Oliveira has been knocked to the ground by lesser people. Or I don't even want to say lesser people. By people not as strong as Ilia Topuria. So unfortunately, I feel like it's inevitable for it to happen. I feel like the truth is Ilia Topuria is inevitable. What do you think about that, my man?
This definitely is going to be something out of a Hallmark movie if Charles Oliveira comes out the winner in this, because if you look at his current stats right now, not that it's bad, but especially in the last 5 fights, it's definitely was looking a little spotty. The only notable win that he had in the last 4 fights was against Beneil Dariush, and obviously he had that win over Michael Chandler, but we kind of consider Michael Chandler out of competition at this point. But again, the other 2 fights were against Arman Tsarukyan and Islam Makhachev, him losing to both of those fights. And the reason I bring that up is because Ilia Topuria was originally slated, or at least there was plans to have been made a fight against Islam Makhachev. And unfortunately, those plans fell through for anybody that was waiting for that fight to happen. But people were actually debating if Ilia could actually take it to Islam. And to be honest, even we were thinking about it. And yeah, it was a hard decision for us to come by. So the fact that we were talking about that made it seem like Ilia Topuria really is that guy. Especially if he's proving competition for somebody like Islam Makhachev. Charles Oliveira lost to Islam Makhachev. Unfortunately, that's a fact we have to face on and of itself. Now, granted, that's not necessarily indicative of anything, but it's at least a parameter I can go off of at least as to what Charles Oliveira's chances are in this one. I do think maybe Charles Oliveira's wrestling and sprawling is slightly better than Ilia Topuria, but man, you cannot deny the high skill that Ilia Topuria has in both the striking and the ground game. So honestly, it's a bit of a toss-up. Charles Oliveira is going to need the absolute best game plan he can absolutely have, because Ilia Topuria is absolutely, like my guy over here said, he absolutely is that guy. Granted, if he wins, hallmark moment. Unfortunately, if Ilia Topuria does come out still champion, Charles Oliveira is basically getting stonewalled. Even though he was champion before, I do think he's going to be relegated to the status of Dustin Poirier, where he is a phenomenal competitor, but just not touching that gold anymore. But what do you think about that? Is that too harsh of an analysis? Do you think I'm calling it down the middle?
Nah, man, listen, the MMA community is we're all pretty accepting of what's going to happen, man. I've seen a number of different memes come out of this that we're all hoping win Charles Oliveira by godly win, Charles Oliveira by in my dreams, Charles Oliveira by miraculous event. Different, the memes are out there. You guys can all find them. They're fucking hilarious. So we've all kind of accepted, but we're all holding out hope. And I'm with you guys. I am holding out hope that my man Charles Oliveira can get it done, because he is the true story. I think he was like on a 9-loss streak for a while, at least a 6-loss streak, something like that. And then the man just brought it back, kept at it and brought it back, kept on working, kept on putting wins together to eventually he became the champion. And I'll be honest with you, if you guys go back and watch that fight where he became champion, the tears in this man's eyes, bro, I felt that shit right here, dog. I felt that shit right fucking here, because you know when you work so hard to get something, you just bust your ass and you tell yourself, I deserve this. Please, God. You know when Khabib was telling, I can't remember the gentleman's name. It was one of the a black fighter. He was fighting him and he was beating him on the ground. He's like, give up. You know that I deserve this. That's what I felt for Charles Oliveira when Charles Oliveira finally became champion. In his mind, he was like, give this to me. I deserve this. And he did. So we're all holding out hope. We're all praying that God comes down and blesses Charles Oliveira on that night. But we live in the real world. And the likelihood is Charles Oliveira and unfortunately Ilia Topuria, and unfortunately Ilia Topuria by more than likely phenomenal knockout. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.